So I'm just going to unbox the light. So this is the FLUVAL reef for LED. So it's for reef aquariums. So I'm not sure what's in this one. Yeah, so this one is just the power adapter. Got a instruction manual on probably all the lighting schedules and everything. Just gonna have to hold this in a bit. Right. So there's going to be a few bits and pieces. This is very similar to the lighting I'm using on my freshwater aquariums, so that's good because I'm quite familiar with all the little braces and everything that go with the tanks. Just put that up there. I think that's the second one here, just for attaching onto the side of the tank. Just adjust the width to suit the length of the tank. So this was designed for a tank that was 59 centimeters up to 89 centimeters. So if you had a smaller tank, this light would still work. I'll have a look at the full. Alright, so here we go. It's a really neat, tidy looking light, fully waterproof. I can see there's an on and off touch on and off there. This is just the cable obviously to the actual power. Actually, lighting wise, it's basically from this point of the tank, so it's going to do the rock work. Let's just say this lighting is going to do from that rock to the end of the other rock, so ideally it's probably smaller light than probably what this tank is going to need, but I'm realistic. I'm probably going to need to get 2 of these, maybe 3 down the track. But there's no corals, so it's really just getting something started. And I feel like that might be it for, I think the rest is just all packaging. I feel like the rest of the box size is a little bit deceiving. I could have put it in a much smaller box because you currently feel like you're getting a light as long as this, but packaging. FLUVAL, that's a little bit naughty. So yeah, the actual light itself, maybe I'll go get a measuring tape. So my tank is 91. The box is over 70, but the actual light itself is only like 45 centimeters of width. So it's half the tank. So the actual light, even though you've got your centimeters on here, it's basically just stating that it can stretch the width of this tank, but obviously the lighting is not stretching the width. Like, it will light up, because that's what all my other lights are. But the actual light itself out of that box is only 45 centimeters, so I'm going to need to center it in this tank. Well, we all have to start somewhere, don't we? maybe it was a bit small for the tank. Anyway, I'm going to plug it all in, I'll give it a go, and hopefully this will give some nice spectrum and exactly what I need to begin with. So beginner's luck, hey? We all try somewhere, and I know that there's some amazing lighting out there, but I don't have an amazing budget right now or in the next 6 months to be spending $1,500 on one single light. So I believe that light was $330. So even if I have to buy 2 of them, I'm still under budget. If I have to buy something else down the track, obviously we all update and upgrade as we change our reefing experience. So let's see how I go. I'm going to see if I can plug it in just to get an idea of the lighting. Might just take a while of fiddling around with the app and seeing what the actual lighting looks like in each different stage. Sorry, I forgot to show you me putting the little brackets on. The brackets were quite simple. They all come in the box looking all twirling around and stuff. So you just have to get the lip of the tank on that side, turn these. There's an adjuster to make the fit on different dimensions of glass, so you can change it like that. These guys raise up and down, so you can make them shorter or taller on your tank depending on where you want your light to be sitting. I'm just making them a bit taller for now, and then I've got to try and thread the light on. So I'm going to want the plug-in area down this end. So normally there's a little, what's going on here? Well, you could just put it on a tank with this little bit raised. Like, you do not have to use these, but this gives it a bit of extra height. So I could potentially just pop it out on the tank. I'll show you with both. So I'll just do it for visual purposes. That is an option to do that. And then just set it on the top of your tank with the extensions they come with. If I was to pull the extensions out, then I get the extra height. So let's take them out. I'm going to take both lots out. Sorry, this is the first time I've ever had one that has 2 different options. So I'm going to need to thread these in here. There's 1 and 2. So that is currently, I've just got to be careful because I've got it on top of the glass. I just don't want to crack any glass right at this point. There's 1 and 2. Feels a little bit flimsy. This looks a little bit low, a bit flimsy on that side. Oh gosh. After doing all of this, I think this light is the wrong size. This is... So I just did an adjustment. The light probably is slightly undersized for this tank, slightly being probably an understatement. But let's quickly flick it on before I decide to whether I'm taking it back and getting a bigger one or not. Let's see. That's quite a good amount of light. It's literally hitting, I can see it hitting everything. I don't feel like that's a bad setting. Oh, the good old blue light. It's my least favourite colour scheme for the lighting. I really like those white lights so you can see things more naturally, but obviously with the coral there'll be a lot of pops of colour that will come out. Let me see what this looks like. I just want to see what an orange, what do you think orange? I don't know if it's going to make anything pop that much more. Let me try the next one. I think that says it's come up with a green light, so I'm not sure if it's got a green. Oh, it still looks blue. I don't know. I just don't know. Looks pretty decent to me. Maybe the next light I'll get will be the bigger one, and then I'll have two lots of decent light. The small one can come to the front where there's less rock work, possibly a bigger one at the back where the rock work's more horizontally in length, because it's situated more towards the back currently. But look, I think it lights up quite nicely. Might have to take you off the tripod and see, but the glass might need a bit of cleaning, but that's what these snails can do. They can do some work. Oh, they've all hit the bottom. They've all gone down. So the lighting, FLUVAL. I think I'm sticking it out. I've been able to adjust the arms a little bit over here and try and spread the weight across more evenly. Like it, hopefully that's distributed a little bit more. You just see the blue. I find that light looks nice, probably for the evening, like in the mornings and maybe the evenings. So if I can work out the scheduling and how to sort this out, I might be able to work it out. I'll just see, because it shows blue here, and then it goes green. So I'm not sure what the green schedule is, but it still looks really blue to me. And then the last setting was red when you turn it off. So that's a natural light in this room versus on. It still has blue. I can still see those blue lights in there, so I don't know. Time will tell. So my reef tank is currently having a electrical storm, lightning thunderstorm. Just doing an experimental run with the lighting between, I think it was 6 p.m. and about 6:08. I think there's supposed to be a lightning storm going on overhead. Here we go. It's meant to replicate a reef ocean storm with the lighting. I think I've only set it to do it once a week on a Sunday around dinner time, just to see something a little different in the tank. Just seeing if it makes any changes to these little guys while they're feeding. Doesn't seem to upset anybody in here that I know of. So yeah, really interesting part of the FLUVAL light is that there's an app, and I've been able to upload a more natural light setting from sunrise throughout the day, the different spectrums of light, and then it ramps up into a daytime light, and then in the evening in the afternoon it has a little dip, and then back up again, and then into the evening it ramps down. So there's a really cool aspect of having this FLUVAL light. All the programs on it, you can do your own program, like a manual program, an auto program, or a pro program. So the tank is now set at pro. I just want to give it a try and see, because it's day one. I've only had it on here for a couple of hours. I just want to see that in the morning and tonight whether the lights dim down at the right time that it's showing, and then if they're back on in the morning, well then yeah, I'll give it a go, and I'm hoping for the best that this lighting schedule will work for this tank in the longer term. Obviously it doesn't make too much difference right now, and it's going to help give this a bit of an algae bloom considering there's no coral and no fish, but these little guys are going to need some sort of food source, so I don't mind having the light on. And all the other little critters that have been hiding in all these nooks and crannies in this rockwork will have something extra to feed on until there's more in this tank. So if I find that they're cleaning the tank too quickly, obviously I'll start feeding some mysis, or maybe some some little baby brine shrimp, just so there's some extra food on the bed of the tank. Haven't really seen much in this little one. Oh, there's some little antennae there. And there's his little hitchhiker friend. That little snail was by itself for a bit, and it seems to, I think it's somehow able to follow these other snails and then hitchhike on the back of them. So it's probably a way of surviving animals, like predator type animals. But yeah, I'm not too sure what that little snail is, but he's definitely a little hitchhiker on his other friend. Yeah, he wasn't on there for a while, so he's switched out from this guy up here. He's now too far away from him. He's actually perfectly camouflaged into this rock. At first I didn't even notice it was up there, but if it gets over to this one, it's going to be quite well camouflaged as well. Currently, that is really amazing camouflage from this little snail. Just sits in there perfectly. It's quite a cool little snail. It's been moving about quite a bit. See if I can get under. been pretty busy, these snails. And some other little things hitchhiking on there. I'm not sure what they are. Whatever they are, they're on there now. Not sure if it's trying to find its way back down to the sand, down to the. And this little one, where is it? This one has done an entire lap, all the way up, all the way around the back, out along here, down here, and along here in the last couple of hours, full lap. You can actually see, I can, there's a little white trail in amongst where it's been. So you can sort of see a little trail going straight through. Got caught in this corner, went there for a bit, went along the wall, along the glass, and this is where it's decided to stop. I can see where the other snail's been because there's little white trails everywhere. It's quite cool knowing that they are actually getting a good feed.